Okay.
Okay, so here we are again. It's episode number 4 of Sons of Pitches, and I'm with my good friend Sam Boundy.
Hello.
So, how are we doing today, Sam?
Living the dream.
Absolutely.
33 years young today.
Yes, congratulations and
Absolutely
happy
loving life.
birthday. Happy birthday for doing another lap around the planet.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I do love that one. Like, yeah, basically your age is just the amount of times that you've gone around the sun.
That's right.
Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. Well, I hope you look forward to doing your shift later on today because I know you're working. And thanks for not wearing the birthday suit.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be fun. Yeah, no, you're welcome. You're welcome.
So, Sons of Pitches, it's kind of morphed this a little bit, Samuel, hasn't it? So we started at just pitching some really shit ideas for films, but now we've kind of channeled it into something that we might be able to pitch to Adam Sandler in particular. So let me just give you the rundown of the films that we've corralled so far. We've got Alpha Male, an animated action adventure starring Jason Statham as a retired A3 envelope and an A4-sized envelope voiced by Adam Sandler. We're then moving on to My Girlfriend's Best Friend's Girlfriend's Best Friend.
Girlfriend's best friend.
Okay.
Correct.
Which was going to be a British rom-com, but now we can,
We can
segue.
change that.
Yep.
We can make it American. It works. It works both sides of the shore.
Yep. Excellent. Honeymoon Period, a romantic semi-sexist comedy, starring Adam Sandler and a bright starlet half his age. We've got
Played by Scarlett Johansson.
Yes, yeah, we've got Scarlett Johansson in there.
Yeah.
I have. I've just had a look at the tagline.
Scarlett Johansson. Go on.
The tagline was, "It's a bloody awful bloody affair." You'll have to go back to previous episodes to realise what that one was about. But that's a good one. We've got Dante's
It's
Peaked.
red gold.
Dante's Peaked,
Yes.
which was a coming-of-age drama. We won't go through the block. Doctor A.D. Do you remember that one?
I do, yeah. It was a doctor set around the time of Christ.
Yeah.
And then this guy turns up in Jerusalem, starts healing people with his hands, and the doctor's like, "Well, where does my career go from here?"
Exactly.
Played by Adam Sandler. Yeah. I do. I'm all about that pitch. I would invest in that. Executive producer Samuel Boundy.
You're in? Okay, man. All right, brilliant. Well, listen, that's as far as I've got, or the ones that we've cemented in, at least. I'll have to backtrack because I'm sure that you contributed some more, and that we could put those in. But what have we got for today, Sam? What's on your mind? What pitch have we got that we can present to Adam Sandler and his people next time he's in town?
Well, what I'm going to because in memory of the great Roger Moore, I was hoping to come up with a pitch for a spy film. I don't see Adam Sandler as a spy, and it's too soon to be writing comedy films parodying James Bond. Michael Myers already covered that anyway. Mike Myers, should I say? Michael Myers was the serial killer in Halloween. Anyway, what I thought I'd run with, an old pitch, one that you may or may not be familiar with because I ran this by you several years back, and could potentially work as an Adam Sandler film. It's called Living Memory. And it's about a man that died.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. You're straight.
Yeah, I like
so the idea was there's this guy dies, and becomes a ghost, and it's basically he finds out like as he starts learning about what it means to be a ghost. There's a whole like scene similar to in Ghost where he meets the guy on the train and he teaches him how to push things, like touch things and stuff, teaches him how to be a ghost. This ghost, an experienced ghost, should we say, basically reveals to him that ghosts are literally living memories, and as long as there's someone on Earth that remembers you, your ghost will remain on Earth forever. And the idea is that it could go one of two ways. Right? It could be two completely different films. On one hand, he wants to stay on Earth and therefore spends the rest of his ghostdom preserving the people that remember him, making sure that they stay alive. Alternatively, it could go the other way. He wants to die. He wants to move on to the next afterlife, and then spends the film killing off all the people that remember him. And I think that would suit Adam. I think that would suit Adam Sandler down to the ground. The second version of the pitch maybe wouldn't work as a comedy.
Yeah. Very dark, macabre.
What I preferred was the original concept of him going out of his way to keep himself alive, keep his memory alive, and so then he becomes a guardian angel for all the people that remembered him.
Yeah. Does he kind of invoke some kind of telekinesis power where he's able to translate, like Swayze did basically by pushing the coin up the door, and he goes down to there'll be a scene where he goes to the subway and meets that guy, and he will tell you to push it with all your gut and all that sort of stuff, and then he can magically move shit, right?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I do remember you weighing in on this pitch, and it was a lovely little evolution. Basically, as you could almost have a montage scene of him like failing to save all these people that remember him. Slowly but surely, they all die off until this one person, this one guy who happens to be a daredevil. He's like an Evel Knievel character. He spends his whole life like risking his life on a daily basis. He's the last person that remembers Adam Sandler, and then he has to go out of his way to be his guardian angel and make sure that, like, every time he does his act, every motorbike stunt will not be his last. And sort of like
we could incorporate. Well, we can get Steve Carell to do something like that, can't we? I mean, he'll be perfect for some kind of like oddball, Evel Knievel type dude that wants to jump over the fountains at Caesar Palace. But he's like a superstar, but he doesn't know how he magically manages to survive every crash. He feels like he's unbreakable, like Bruce Willis, but it's because he's got Adam Sandler looking out for him, right?
Yes. Steve Carell, possible. I'm thinking more Greg Kinnear.
Ooh, Greg Kinnear. Yeah.
I can see him in that part. Yeah. Or ironically, he played a ghost in Ghost Town with Ricky Gervais. So it's almost like he's switching roles there.
He's typecast now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice one, man. So what's it called? Living Memory.
It's called Living Memory.
Living Memory. I'm just
because ghosts. That's.
The person that he goes to find out how he can get his power so that he can actually do stuff in real life rather than just walk through doors. I mean, that guy, that's a nailed-on part for a cameo for Christopher Walken. He's going to come in and nail that check all day long, isn't he? He's just going to go, right, what is it? A day's work? No problemo. And he also did that with him in Click, right, with the remote control. So he had that like one scene where he gets the remote control. Yeah. So
you want to move the watch. You got to stick it up your ass.
This watch.
You don't have an ass anymore, but
this watch.
You gotta think about sticking it up there. You gotta believe it.
Do you know that scene?
Yeah, it's writing it. So
I actually memorized that scene as part of a party trick. Well, I say I did. I never actually did. So whilst I was out running, I would actually have that on my iPod, and I would recite it a couple of times whilst I was out running, because I'd run every day. And I had it down to the point where I could probably recite it enough if I was in a crowded people and someone... when you're in a party and everyone has a party trick, and then it's your turn and you've got nothing, you can't even light your own farts. So, you've literally got nothing. I've always dreamt of getting up and doing that scene, because
it's just a very little monologue.
Yeah, exactly.
I probably still do have it knocking about somewhere. The screenplay to Pulp Fiction, which includes all the deleted scenes and everything. And I actually had the honor of performing the opening scene. Basically, it was the most random thing of all. It was when I was studying performing arts. We had to do little one-act plays, or a scene from a play, and I got lumped with this girl who I happened to go to school with. So we had history, we'd acted together before, we had chemistry and everything, but I'd come up with nothing, and I literally turned up one day. We had to go to the library and find one-act plays, or find a play that we could take a scene from. Everyone turned up with all this obvious, pretentious, theatre-y stuff. I basically didn't do my homework, and I got up that morning and thought, shit, I need to bring something in. And I looked at my bookcase and saw the screenplay to Pulp Fiction. And I came in and I was like, I want to do a scene from Pulp Fiction. I mean, it's not even a fucking stage play for a start. It's a film, but it's, you know, it's the sort of film that could translate to the stage. So I just tried to blag it, and I tried to blag it. I said, I want to do the opening scene from Pulp Fiction, and it was the most weirdest moment because my tutor looked at me with glazed eyes, like, you fucking waster, you fucking blag artist, and then something sort of clicked in her brain, and she was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to let you do this. I'm going to see where you go with this. And she let us do it. And we performed the opening scene with Tim Roth and the other girl, you know, Pumpkin and Honey Bunny. And we did it. We memorized the script and we performed it with all the swear words. We even had to put on the posters on the doors and mention it on the flyer, this that tonight's performance will contain strong language. And we did it. And we did the whole opening scene to Pulp Fiction and fucking nailed it and got an applause and everything. Yeah, I was quite proud of that moment, you know.
And so, who played Tim Roth?
Me.
Oh right, I thought you were going to play the Love You Honey.
The
Bunny.
girl.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
with an equally as big moustache as you have now, that would be quite something.
Yeah. The best thing is that he's chain smoking throughout the whole scene, and I tried to get hold of a stage cigarette. Which is like basically, you know, you blow on it and talc comes out and it looks like smoke. Couldn't get hold of one, so I just sat there pretending to smoke an unlit cigarette. And then to the extent that at the end of the scene I had to stub out a full unlit cigarette. But it kind of, like, you know, nice. Break the suspension of belief a little bit. But
did it go down well? Was it received well?
Strangely enough, yeah, it did go down pretty well. Yeah.
What did the Braintree and Whittam Times, you know, how did they review it?
They didn't, funnily enough. I mean, the funny thing was, it wasn't swearing that I was most worried about. I mean, yeah, there was a few fucks in there, quite a few fucks. I mean, this is Tarantino after all. It wasn't the swearing that I was worried about. It's the fact that he says gooks. If it's not the Jews, it's the gook motherfuckers, and it's like, you know, it's the fucking gooks. It's like, I was it was the racist slurs that I was most worried about, but no one go, because it was all in context.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Much like you saying gooks now, and me saying gooks is in context to the referencing of you.
I'm saying it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, thanks for that. Right.
Yeah, you're welcome. So anyway, coming full circle, my pitch was Living Memory with Adam Sandler and Greg Kinnear and Christopher Walken, directed by Adam Sandler. Let's face it, you might as well give it a turn. Has he ever directed?
I don't know. I fucking hope not.
I hope not. Yeah. Thoughts exactly.
Shall I go for one, or did you have any more? Did you want to?
Please. No, please. No, that was basically all I came up with today.
That's the one that you came up with like 4 years ago. I remember talking about that with you.
It was but it's I thought I pulled it out of the bag because I couldn't come up with a decent spy comedy.
No. We may as well tap on it in reference to Sir Roger Moore. What a wonderful, what a career, right? And it's just great to see a huge reservoir of affection has just poured its way onto the internet on Facebook and Twitter. And I went down to his restaurant last night that he co-founded with his son, Hush, which is down in Mayfair. Interestingly, Hush, yeah. You have all of these pictures on the wall of portraits. So you have all of these famous people doing this to the camera. So you have the likes of Christopher Lee is on the wall there. Liam Gallagher's on the wall there, of all the people that have come to the restaurant. And of course you've got Roger Moore, and he's doing the Hush, and they've put like a white rose on top of the picture, which was, I thought, a nice little touch. In he's next to Richard Kiel, of course, who played Jaws in the film, so his picture's there next to him. They positioned it there. But what was interesting was I was talking to the waitress who was serving me a couple of cocktails, and I mentioned to her
a Vespa.
Well, the menu, actually, I have had a few Vespas in there in my time. But the menu didn't seem to. They've seemed to have jigged the menu around, and I fancied something else. I mean, Vesper is a fucking lethal drink as well. I mean, you don't need too many of them.
Pure alcohol.
It is gasoline. It really is. But that's why Bond drank it, because he wanted that hit of pure alcohol more than anything more flavoursome or.
Apparently, according to legend, in the books, he actually drinks a lot more whiskey than he does martinis, because whiskey was Fleming's poison of choice. Well, then the martini thing, they wrote that into the film and made a big deal out of it, and it just kind of became his shtick, didn't it?
Yeah, no, there's a lot of whiskey, bourbon, Haig. He talks about Haig a lot, the Haig whiskey.
Yeah.
But let me just put a pin in it. So I was talking to the waitress, and I said, "Did you ever get to meet Sir Roger? You must have come by the restaurant quite a few times." And she said, I mean, I think she was foreign, so she didn't quite understand the question. So I had to rephrase it a couple of times. I said, "Sir Roger, have you ever had the chance of meeting him?" And she goes, "Oh, no, but maybe one day I will." And I said,
she hadn't heard.
Well, not that she hadn't heard. I literally don't think I don't think she knew who Sir Roger Moore was. I have this inkling that she hadn't even got the clue who was pretty much the co-founder. And what was more interesting was that there's this huge picture on the wall with a rose on top of this fucking picture. So someone would have actually gone and put the rose on top of it, and she's just glibly or blindly walked past it every time she's gone to get the drinks, not questioned why this rose is now magically appeared on top of this picture, because it wouldn't have been there at any other time leading up to this, right? So so that it kind of like recalibrated myself that the hot 20-something cocktail waitress of course doesn't fucking know who James Bond is, so Roger Moore or anyone, the hot cocktail waitress is perfectly entombed within her world, right, of being hot. But she was perfectly nice. Anyway, moving on. But he will be missed. Huge bucket of win. Huge bucket. In fact, just to further note, I did actually manage to interview him by email. He did answer a few questions that I sent to him. So I sent a little questionnaire to him, and he got back to me, which was one of the best moments. That moment of opening up that email, knowing that it's from Roger Moore, is probably the most excited and aroused I've ever been in my life. And I'll never forget that. Anyway.
I can imagine. And also, let's obviously not forget his fantastic work in Spice Girls, the movie.
Absolutely, yeah.
Spice World.
He will be missed. Okay, so moving on. So we have another pitch that I came up with. I've written down. Again, it's I think I had the name and then worked backwards. So we've got.
I love that. I do that all the time.
We've got hysterical strength. Hysterical strength. So I've written down the blurb here. Shall I read off the blurb? So Adam Sandler plays a character called Jack Off, a struggling stand-up comedian who one day rescues a young girl trapped by the weight of a 20-ton truck. He literally summons a strength. So you hear about all these grannies all the time that lift up the trucks that are like their granddaughters are crushed under because no one's around to help.
The heat
at the moment gets to them, and they manage to lift up these huge 4x4s and crack every vertebrae in their spine doing it, but magically freeing the people underneath. So yes. Adam Sandler, there's a young girl underneath this 20-ton truck, and he, with no one around to help, with the young girl about to imminently die, lifts up this truck by himself and frees and becomes the hero. And the scientists refer to this. It's actually called something. It's called hysterical strength. So this
is a thing. Yeah.
This is a thing. So but it works both ways because obviously he's a struggling stand-up comedian. So this is where the hysterical plays into it. So there's a video, right? There's a video of him doing this, right? A little video someone's recorded, and it's gone viral. Okay. So he reaches overnight fame and overnight success of being this hero, and after people get wind, like Jimmy Kimmel and all these Saturday night hosts go, "Oh my God, he's a comedian as well. We must get him on the show. We'll give him a 5-minute slot. Why not? He deserves it. He deserves his shot at fame." But it goes terribly wrong. So he's now back where he started, being a really shit comedian, and having to work his way up again. And that's about as far as I got.
Okay. I like it. I mean, it's basically, struggling stand-up, does this amazing thing, gives him his 15 minutes of fame, but then there's a reset button, it all goes wrong, and he has to. And yeah, he can then, obviously, now that people know who he is, he could spend the film latching onto that, desperately using his minor celebrity. You know, don't you remember I was the guy that lifted the truck? You know, yeah.
He could open up like shops, plaques.
He could open up a theme bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then maybe like.
Just throwing ideas out.
If you're out there, Adam, I mean, I'm sure Adam would like to take this vehicle.
Yeah, I'm sure he could come up with something. He could, he could play all the characters.
Again. Well, you know how.
No, but like, I mean, I like the idea of there being lots of celebrity cameos where they play themselves. So like all the chat show hosts that he goes on, obviously they're playing themselves, but then have other cameos like he ends up being integrated into the celebrity world, and all these celebrities are playing themselves. You know, much, but obviously like exaggerations of themselves, much like Matt LeBlanc in Episodes. You know, he's playing himself, but it's a scripted version of himself. You know, I like that.
I was thinking that maybe he does his Saturday Night Live slot, his little 5-minute slot, and he like crowbar. He has a. He doesn't know it.
On SNL.
He doesn't know it, but he doesn't know it. But he's like a racist or something, and so he does this 5 minutes, and everyone goes, "Oh my god, he's just doing loads of racist jokes," and it goes down terribly. And then he's ostracized. Full
irony. He could be anti-Semitic, couldn't he? You know, just to be fully ironic. You know.
So the tagline I thought was, "You find strength in the weirdest of places."
Oh.
Yeah, because obviously
you're good at the taglines.
I'm probably better at the taglines than I am at anything else. So
then you are at the pitch.
so the story arc is obviously like, he has a woman in his life as well. So when it goes viral and he becomes a huge success, he obviously shags his way through all of the women in the village or the town who want to hang on to his fame. But then he goes back to his roots of the girl that was there at the beginning, who was, just in the background. Yeah. So
played by Zooey Deschanel.
Who?
Zooey Deschanel from New Girl.
Zooey Deschanel.
Elf. Yeah, it's spelled Zooey. You'd recognise her. She's got amazing bangs, which is American for fringe, by the way.
That's not the.
Only Americans can pluralise a fringe. How does that become bangs?
She has got amazing. Was she in that hockey film called Goon with
Stifler?
The Stifler guy.
Stifler, yeah. I'm trying to think of his name now. Sean something. Sean something. Got
I know what.
Yeah. Was she in that? Yeah.
Yeah. God, she's hot. Yeah. Yeah, she's
hot, isn't she?
She's very on the money, right? Yeah, well done.
Yeah,
she's definitely. Well, let's get her in. Let's get her on the casting couch and see what she's doing.
Yep. She'll play the
Why not?
The girlfriend.
Okay.
Why not?
Cool. Well, I don't know. I think that might be a wrap. How about that?
I think that was a good round. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I'm just to throw this out here, like with your talent at writing taglines. I'm just thinking a brand new show, Tag Your It. Where you just come up with taglines for films, because you seem to have a penchant for it, shall we say?
Thank you. Well, if you can achieve one thing in life.
Let's just stick to the pictures for now. But cramp in the foot. Okay, so
cool.
That's
all right. Well, nice one. Well, I hope you have a good birthday, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It was a pleasure to share this moment with you.
And we should mention that everything's going on the website, which is intermissionsfilms.com. There's links to all the social channels apart from YouTube. We've got Instagram, Twitter, and all that sort of stuff. We've actually just released a podcast, which you can find on the website, which is all about the documentary of David Prowse, which will be released on the iPlayer, BBC Radio. So, did you get a chance to listen to the podcast?
I did not get a chance to listen to the podcast, but I do have a documentary on Netflix about David Prowse. Is that the one you're referencing?
No, this is just an hour-long radio segment, so features lots of interviews and stuff like that. There's actually there's really good clips of the original audio as well of Christopher Reeve, because he trained Christopher Reeve, David Prowse, because he was a weightlifter, right? And so he was, but what they didn't know was David Prowse was also auditioning for the role of Superman alongside Christopher Reeve. So when the producers gave David a call and said, "Look, we think we've found our Superman," David Prowse went, "Fucking hell, you're kidding!"
Running, was he?
Yeah, he goes, "You're fucking kidding me." He goes, "Yep, it's Christopher Reeve." And he's like, "Fuck."
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, we just want you to teach
yeah.
early.
So you just got to go down and bench with him. Is that all right? So anyway, do check out the podcast. It's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay.
Yeah. Excellent. Yeah.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, take care, mate. Until next week.
Pleasure as always. Until next week.
Okay.
I will return.
You will.
This is another homage to Roger Moore. Boundy and Pete will return.
Yes. Oh. Do you know what?
In Sons of Pitches 5.
Do you know what? I won't deny. I had a little cry yesterday at the breaking of the news.
Oh, mate.
So I had a little cry, and then because
after the whole Manchester thing, that was a big kick in the nuts.
It's just been a real shit week, right?
It's been a shit week.
But then after the news broke, I kind of, it affected me like all day. So I had to, because I'm with the missus, and I didn't want to. It's not very Bondian to be blabbering all day. So I had to go in and take like showers, so that I was disguising how much I was. I had about fucking 5 showers yesterday, and then this morning as well. I was like, I just got to have another. And she's like, because she really wants me to shower all the time, because she's an obsessive cleansing nut. She's like, yeah, go for it, go for another shower, and I'm like, I will. And then it's, you know, you can just, it's the perfect place to mask them tears, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah.
On that.
Yeah, just shame the weather's so nice, really, isn't it? It's like...
Yeah. Anyway, on that bombshell, please
yes.
do have a good one, and we'll see you soon.